Welcome to lecture 9 of thin film deposition module. We are in this lecture we will continue our discussion on a physical vapor deposition process called sputtering. Okay. Remember in the previous lecture, lecture 8, we had discussed how these energetic ions which we have created as part of our plasma interact with the surface of the cathode. Okay. And this cathode is our target material which we want to deposit as a thin film on a substrate. Okay. So, let us look at the what are the various parameters that govern the deposition rate or the deposition of thin film. Okay. So, before we start, let me give you a simplistic geometry of what we are doing, a schematic. So, we have a vacuum chamber, okay, in which we want to carry out the thin film deposition process by sputtering, and for sputtering we also have a cathode and an anode to create the plasma. Okay. So, these are cathode and anode, okay, and between which we apply a voltage V. Okay. And remember, cathode is also our target, the material that we want to deposit on the substrate. Substrate is either capped at the anode or at any other place in between inside the plasma. Okay. So, this is cathode, this is anode, and we will have plasma in between, okay, different regions of plasma, cathode dark space, cathode glow, cathode dark space, and negative glow. So, these are the essential parts of the plasma which are considered. If you have this distance very large, then you can also have a positive column. Okay. Now, in this geometry, the ions, the positive ions are being accelerated towards my target or cathode and resulting the sputtering process from the target. Okay. And then these sputtered atoms which are coming out from the surface of the target will have some kinetic energy, will travel some distance and then make a thin film layer at the substrate. Okay. So, this is the overall process of sputtering. Okay. Now, before we go here, let me give you a very simplistic equation for growth rate or deposition rate in case of sputtering. Okay. This can be described as, if the deposition rate I say G dot in centimeter per second, okay, though the deposition rates would be very slow, of the order of nanometers per minute. Okay. So, of course, you can convert these units. Okay. So, this will depend on, this is the power density of the plasma x Th, this is we will discuss this term, divided by G. G is the gap between cathode and anode, rho, which is the density of the material that you are depositing on your as thin film. This is the density of thin film, not the target. Okay. Target might have a different density than your thin film. Okay. And how dense you want to deposit the thin film will depend on various parameters, deposition rate, substrate temperature, and various other factors. Okay. So, this is the density of the thin film, 1 plus gamma E. Gamma E is the again secondary electron emission coefficient, okay, because we need secondary electrons to sustain the plasma, because electrons in a DC plasma glow are always accelerated towards anode and are being lost there. Okay. So, we need to generate these secondary electrons to keep a continuous supply of electrons, which will ionize the gas atoms and create gas ions, and which will result in resulting the sputtering process. Okay, and E is the average energy of sputtering, okay, or sputtering ions. Okay, so this expression is not a it is implied expression from various experiments. Okay, now we understand this is the power density of plasma in watts per centimeter square. Okay, this XTH is a term. This is called thermalization distance. Okay. Now, as we had said that once the sputtered atoms come out from the target, they have some energy, okay, typically between 2 to 10 electron volts, some kinetic energy, and these kinetic energy is given to them by the energetic ions. Now, how far these atoms travel before they become thermalized? A process of thermalization means that this excess energy that these ions have, these atoms have, they will lose this in the process of collisions. Okay, because as they start moving towards away from the target and towards the substrate, they will collide with various ions or gas atoms. Okay, so let's fix our gas also. We have argon gas. So they will interact with these, and during this collision process they will lose their energy. Okay, once they lose their energy, they are not traveling there towards anode. Okay, because once they start from the cathode, they have a preferential direction because of the change in momentum process. But once they undergo these collisions, they lose their energy, they start moving as any other gas atom, okay, and they become thermalized. Okay, so all these parameters. So it is obvious that if you have higher power density of plasma, then you will have higher growth rate. It is very easily understood, because if power density of plasma is higher, more ions are present to bombard on the target, okay, resulting in more sputtering. If this distance, thermalization distance, is higher, then more of the atoms which are being sputtered will reach the substrate and result in thin film deposition, rather than being lost to the walls of the chamber or any other direction. Okay. So if this parameter is large, then you will get more deposition rate. Okay. If this distance between cathode or target and substrate is large, then of course your growth rate will go down, because it will act against this thermalization distance. If this secondary emission coefficient is very large, then your growth rate will go down. Okay. And also if this energy of the ions, the sputtering energy, is very large, then also your deposition rate will go down. Okay. Now let us shift our focus to the graph on the left hand side. This graph is on x axis we have argon pressure. Okay. For the same energy of the ions, okay, energy of the ions is kept same and pressure is varied, and we can measure the current. This is the cathode current. Okay, this is cathode current due to ions. Okay, and on the right hand side we can record the sputtering yield and relative deposition rate. Okay. So we have two curves here, curve A and curve B. You can see that discharge current increases with increase in pressure. Okay. You have higher pressure, that means you are creating more and more argon ions, which will so that more and more argon ions are reaching the cathode, resulting in more current. Okay. So, and it increases with the argon pressure. However, the sputtering yield will start to go down. Why is that? Because if ions, there is large number of ions, the energy of the ions which are reaching the target will be less because of various interactions with the between the atoms and the ions and collisions. So, the energy, though these ions are reaching the target and the current is increasing, their energy will be less. So, they will result in less sputtering. Okay. If they result in less sputtering, then we will have less deposition. Okay. So, combination of these two curves is this curve right here, which gives you a relative deposition rate, and from this you can find out that there is a sweet spot or sweet region where you have the highest deposition rates possible, and these are somewhere around 100 millitorr of the pressure. Okay. So, that is why you need to have 100 millitorr pressure. If you have too high, then your deposition rate will go down. If you have too low pressure, your deposition rate will go down. Okay. So, this is the geometry for a parallel plate DC glow. Okay. How can we improve on this? Because these rates are very slow, and at these pressures we do not want to operate at these pressures, because if you remember from the Paschen curve, if the pressure and distance is PD, product of P and D is very large, then you need to have higher breakdown voltage. Okay. So, we want to lower our operating voltages, and one way to do that is to lower this pressure, and but if we lower the pressure, our deposition rates go down. So, how do we overcome this? Okay. We can use AC plasma for sputtering process. Okay. How does this help? Remember, we had discussed the AC effects in the plasma and the plasma frequency and the oscillation of electrons. Okay. So, one of the benefits is that you can utilize AC plasma to generate dense plasmas at low pressures. Okay. And at low pressures, because there is less collision between ions, the sputtering rate would be higher, because the ions reaching the target or cathode would have higher energy. Okay. Also, AC plasma confines electrons in oscillating field. Okay. So, simultaneously both electrodes are acting as anode and cathode. So, electrons are oscillating between these two plates. So, they are not being lost at any of the electrodes. Okay. You can adjust the frequency such that they will not be able to reach any of the electrode, and they will just keep oscillating in between, and in the process ionize more and more gas ions. Okay. So, once you are not losing any electrons at the electrodes, then you do not need to depend on the secondary electron generation or secondary electron emission. Okay. So, that helps in creating more and more ions at a lower voltage. Okay. But the AC frequency should be high enough so that the ions are not able to move. Okay. Ions should always be moving towards target, they should not be oscillating. Okay. So, if the frequency is higher, okay, then these ions will not feel the effect of that frequency, because ions are heavier. Okay. They take some time of inertia and other things to realize that there is a change in polarity, and by the time they realize the polarity is changed again. So, they can keep moving in one direction. Okay. In which direction we will discuss this, because in AC plasma there is no fixed anode or cathode. Okay. But the AC frequency should be high enough so that ions are not able to move. Typical AC frequencies are in megahertz range, okay, for this effect, and specifically this 13.56 megahertz radio frequency, these are called radio frequency or RF. Okay. And we call it RF plasma, is reserved for plasma processing equipment. Many material processing depends on this RF plasma, be it sputtering process, reactive ion etching or PECVD, which we will discuss later. So, all these are basically on this 13.56 megahertz. Okay. Okay. Now, in case of AC plasma, the electrode acts as parallel plate capacitor. Okay. The only current required is to use in charging and discharging of electrodes. Now, see this effect. Suppose you have these electrodes, okay, and with a DC voltage and fixed cathodes. Okay. Then what would happen, that suppose you want to deposit an insulating material like SiO2, okay, it is not conducting. So, you will have a target which is of silicon oxide, okay. Now, suppose this target thickness is of the order of 1 millimeter or 1 to 5 millimeter, okay, typical thickness, because you want to deposit this material onto the substrate not more than few microns, few hundred nanometers at a time. So, typical target thicknesses are 1 to 5 mm, okay. So, this is the thickness, okay. Now, if this is SiO2 which has resistivity of the order of 10 to power 16 ohm centimeter, then the voltage drop here within the target would be very large, and suppose we need around 1 milliampere current, right, ions, positive ions which are moving here should result in some current, and of the current density of the order of 1 milliamp per centimeter square, okay. So, this is for an insulating target where the resistivity is very high. So, if you calculate that V, the potential drop across this voltage to sustain this current density with this resistivity can be given as this resistivity J into this thickness, okay, and this comes out to be order of 10 to power 12 volts or so for this insulating substrate target. Now, sustaining this kind of voltages are very difficult, you cannot practically use this. So, for insulating targets or the other things, the similar thing happens at the anode when this film is being deposited of SiO2, this becomes insulating, okay. So, there is no way to flow the current between these two plates, okay. So, how do we overcome this problem using AC plasma? It is because AC plasma, the plasma everything here behaves as dielectric, okay. There is no current flow between electrodes. The only current that flows is because of charging of these plates in the external circuit, because once this plate becomes from negative to positive, the current flows if we have an AC plasma in both directions to reverse the polarity. That is the only current that is flowing. There is no current flowing between the electrodes. So, there is no need for this this high current, right. So, and in this case we can we just want these ions to be accelerated, right. So, in this case we can use insulating targets or substrates, okay. So, that is one additional benefit of using AC plasma, that we can use insulating targets to deposit insulating films, okay. Okay. Now, remember again in an AC plasma there is no fixed anode or cathode, right, because they keep changing with high frequency, okay. So, where do we put our target? Remember we had said when we were discussing DC plasma that our cathode is where we put our target, right. We put our target at the cathode and the positively charged ions are accelerated towards cathode, they bombard on our target and then result in sputtered atoms, okay. But in the absence of absence of defined cathode or anode, where do we keep our target? as it happens that when we put any electrode in an AC plasma, there is a negative self bias, right. We had discussed this also, that any plasma, any electrode, if we insert in plasma, it becomes negatively charged. Okay. The similar effect is utilized here to have a self bias on one electrode which is slightly negative. Okay. Now, let us see this in a configuration. So, we use a capacitor at one electrode. Okay. So, we use a we are using a capacitor at one electrode. Okay. So, using this capacitor of some value, we can define that there is no current flow from this electrode. Okay. Because of this capacitor is an insulating, it only allows the charge. Okay. No current flow from this. Okay. However, the current flow can happen to this plate. Okay. Now, once we do that, this electrode, let me take another color, is self negative biased. Okay. And this becomes the target. Okay. Because it is self biased negatively, because of the effect we will discuss here, and so in an AC plasma this target becomes negatively biased, and we can use the ions which are moving towards this target and resulting in sputtering. Also recall, here we have discussed that AC frequency should be high enough so that ions are not able to move or able to oscillate. Okay. So, they are not oscillating with the field, they are moving with this in one direction with this self negative bias towards target, resulting in sputtering. Okay. So, our sputtering process is still going on. Okay. Now, let us discuss this effect in these two graphs. Okay. Since we have put a capacitor on one electrode, the current flow in outside circuit will look like a diode. Okay. Because the current will flow when while this electrode is being charged. Okay. There is no current flow from this electrode. Okay. So, and the diode characteristic is like this, which is shown. This is the IV characteristics of a diode. Okay. Like a PN junction diode. Okay. This is the forward bias, this is the reverse bias. Okay. Now, on this electrode, if you see that during the positive cycle, okay, on this electrode there will be large number of electrons which will be bombarding on it. Okay. And in the negative cycle there will be less number of ions, because ions cannot move that fast. Electrons can move very fast because of their lighter mass, but ions are heavier, they will not be able to move that fast. So, we will have large electron current on this electrode and less ion current, which is positive current, less. Okay. And this is my RF signal which is applied. This is the positive cycle which results in this electron current. This is the negative cycle which results in ion current. Okay. Now, if you see that more electrons are bombarding on that electrode, over certain time it will develop a negative bias, such that when it becomes a slightly negative bias, if you see, and on top of which I am applying my RF signal, then both currents become equal. Okay. So, net currents become 0. So, no more change in the potential of this electrode. Okay. When this becomes slightly negative. Okay. And this negative potential of the target is sufficient to accelerate ions towards it to result in sputtering. Okay. So, this is how an AC plasma works for thin film deposition. Okay. There is also an effect of electrode size effect. Okay. Now, if we recall, we have a voltage which is RF voltage, okay, and there is a voltage which is ground voltage. Okay. So, the relation between these two voltage, so this is the self bias voltage and this is the RF potential, RF signal, okay, this is the AC potential. The ratio between them will depend on their capacitances, inverse of capacitance, because we know that Q is equal to C into V. So, charge being equal, because charge has to be neutralized, positive charge on one plate should be equal to negative charge on the other plate. Okay. So, in an ideal dielectric, so my V becomes 1 over C. Okay. So, the voltages distribution would be in accordance to their capacitance. Okay. And this capacitance ratio we can define as Ag into, this is Ag by D. So, this is for RF sheet thickness divided by this is the RF electrode and this is the ground electrode, okay, RF into ds, okay, and this is the ground. Okay. So, we have small sheath distances at both ends, at RF electrode and the ground electrode. Okay. So, if I so this is my RF electrode and this is my ground electrode. Okay. So, with respect to this ground, I am applying positive or negative potential to this RF electrode. Okay. So, if this is the ratio, then, and also we know that current according to Child-Langmuir equation depends on this equation, this is according to Child-Langmuir equation, and this is the space charge limited current. Okay. We had discussed this part when we were discussing plasma. So, combining these expressions, we can say that Vrf over Vg will depend on Ag over Arf, taking these two distances almost equal, okay, to the power 4. Okay. So, if we have higher ground area, okay, then we will have Vrf much higher than Vg. So, all the potential drop would be at the RF electrode. Okay. So, this way we can make sure that not only the electrode, but the entire chamber is grounded with respect to the RF electrode. Okay. So, we can make the entire chamber as the ground electrode and have just one electrode on which we are applying our RF potential. This way, because this Ag is very high, our Vrf would be much higher. Okay. So, with this we will stop in this part, and in the next lecture we will continue our discussion on the sputtering deposition, and we will discuss various large area deposition techniques also in this sputtering. Thank you.